everyone, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here to take a look at training camp. Training camp's about to start. The rookies are already in camp, and the veterans show up in a few days. And I wanted to take a look at what I think the offense is going to look like throughout training camp in the preseason and heading into the regular season. But first, before we even do that, please take a moment and grab that subscribe button. If you're a Giants fan like I know you are, because you wouldn't be watching if you aren't, help us grow the channel. We appreciate your support. Mazo and I will be getting here a lot more regularly and consistently once the preseason starts. But for now, we're just going to throw up a few things every now and then. But we'd love to have you guys subscribe, like, share, all those good things. So please do that for us. Football with the Fellas is all about Big Blue. Tell your friends. So what I'd like to do right now is take a look at what I think the offense is going to look like in the preseason, and I would love to know what you guys think. So you see I've got the position, the starter, the second string, the third string, basically the practice squad, and anybody who I think might be a notable cut candidate. And then I've also highlighted some people who I would love to see get traded. You may have heard me mention this in a previous episode that I'm really hoping that we can trade for the Saints center, Eric McCoy, who's a beast. The Saints are in dire need of a quarterback. They've got Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck as their, battling it out for the starting position. I don't think either one of them is the answer. And I don't think they think either one of them is the answer, certainly not yet. And I think Jameis Winston going back home to New Orleans would make a lot of sense all around. And I think that, quite frankly, their backup running back position could use some upgrading. Alvin Kamara is still a little bit tweaked. They're not sure if he's going to be ready for week one. Cam Akers, he's not, a great running back. He's a solid running back. I guess he's on the Devin Singletary level, kind of. Singletary offers more in pass protection as a running back, blocking for the quarterback, which I think is important. But I think it's just slightly all around better running back. And I think if they're going to go into week one with not even Alvin Kamara fully healthy, they would do well to add Devin Singletary. So I'm thinking that if we gave them Jameis Winston, John Michael Schmitz, they need a center since they're giving us their center, and either Devin Singletary or Daniel Bellinger, that should be enough to really interest them and to get them to feel like the upgrade of the quarterback is worth the downgrade at center. So that's my offer of a trade. That said, the starters, Russell Wilson obviously is our QB1. Malik Nabers is obviously wide receiver 1. Theo Johnson is obviously tight end 1. Andrew Thomas is left tackle. And after that, there's some question marks. So I'm hoping that at least in the preseason, that Evan Neal gets to start at left guard. I'm not saying he's necessarily going to be the week one starter, but I think he should get a full shot at proving himself at guard. He was a very high draft pick. He's a huge man. He's just a mammoth human being and can move bodies in the run game. Pass protection has not been very good, especially at tackle, but it's easier to hide that lack of foot speed and quickness in pass protection at guard than it is out in the island at tackle. So I think he's got a shot at being a good tackle. He was a very good tackle his freshman year at Alabama. I'm sorry, at guard. A very good guard his freshman year at Alabama. I don't think he should play tackle anymore. But I do think that they're going to give him a full shot at that. I'm going to put John Michael Schmitz in as the center, but obviously I'm hoping that we traded for Eric McCoy. John Runyon was, played hurt a lot last year. He's a very solid pass blocking right guard and an okay run blocking right guard. So I have a feeling he's going to win the right guard job if Evan Neal wins left guard job, again, at least in the preseason. And I love Jermaine Illuminor. I hope we extend him. I think he's a really, really solid offensive lineman, period. Right tackle, he could be the backup left tackle. You see, I have him listed as the backup left tackle when Andrew Thomas has his, annual injury list visit. Got to keep Illuminor around for a while. And I think Daniel Bellinger is a trade and or cut candidate, but I think he's our second best tight end. I think we just grossly underutilize him. So I have him listed as tight end number 2, but I have a feeling he may not make the 53 one way or another. But if he does, I think he's tight end 2. Wan'Dale Robinson, slot receiver, he's okay. Honestly, I don't think he's much better at slot receiver than John Michael Schmitz is at center, but he's okay, and we can live with that. We don't have a lot of depth there. Little Jordan Humphrey and Zach Pascal, and there's other people who could line up in the slot, but I don't think we have a great slot receiver. Darius Slayton and Jalen Hyatt, to me, is the most intriguing battle in camp. If Jalen Hyatt really is looking, 15 or 20 pounds heavier and stronger without losing any speed. And his confidence is there, and Russell Wilson's confidence in Jalen Hyatt is there. I think Jalen Hyatt can beat Darius Slayton out as wide receiver too, but he certainly will split the reps with him. So I think those two are going to be getting on the field a lot. Maybe we go with two tight ends and two wide receivers, so we don't need Wandale on the field that often. Or maybe we put one of them, Darius Slayton or Jalen Hyatt, in the slot, or Malik Neighbors for that matter, in the slot when we go with three wide receivers. Running back. Well, Tyrone Tracy is certainly going to start off as RB1. I guess the battle is between Cam Scatterboo and if Devin Singletary doesn't get traded, which of them winds up RB2 early on. And I think that we're going to probably give Cam Scatterboo every chance to earn that job in the preseason. So again, this is a preseason list. We know what we can get out of Devin Singletary. He was a pretty, well-established veteran. We don't expect him to, be significantly better or worse than he has been in his career. But what is Cam Scatterboo? So let's get him some reps and let's see, what he can be. My, I guess, surprise for making the team is I really think we're going to keep Dante Turbo Miller as that fourth running back. And if Devin Singletary gets traded, the third running back, that's a lot of speed. He is really dangerous if you get him out in the open field. And I think we just, do we really need another year from Eric Gray? I mean, he's just not the answer. So I think Turbo Miller gets the nod as the fourth and maybe even third running back. So looking at that second string, Jameis Winston, if we don't trade him, is obviously the backup quarterback for now, with Jackson Dart kind of nipping at his heels. Here's one of my surprises. I think Bo Collins is going to make the team, and I think he's going to be considered the second string wide receiver one, behind backing up Malik Neighbors. Chris Manhertz is a great blocking tight end, especially if we get rid of Bellinger. He definitely makes the team as the blocking tight end. Although Greg Dulcich is a pretty good blocker. You've seen a couple of clips I've posted before. Greg Dulcich is not a bad blocking tight end. I don't know. Chris Manhertz might price himself off the team if we don't trade Bellinger. We might wind up keeping Greg Dulcich and possibly even Thomas Fidone, the seventh round draft pick, if he impresses in camp. So I'm a little bit worried about Manhertz, but he is a solid blocker, and I would be happy for us to keep him. As I said, Jermaine Illuminor is a backup left tackle in my mind. Josh Azuyu should never play tackle again in his life, certainly not for the Giants, but I think he could possibly be a solid backup guard. I think GVR at his age, 35, 36 years old, doesn't need to start. I think he'd be fine, especially in the preseason. I think he'd be fine as the backup center and backup right guard. And if anybody goes down to injury or just underperforms, then you can plug him in. Again, you know what you're going to get from him. But it's time to give some of the other guys, some of the younger guys, a full shot and see what they can give us. Rookie Marcus Bowe, I think they've been looking at him at right tackle primarily, although there's a lot of talk saying that he could play all five positions. But do you really want to throw that on a rookie's plate to make him learn five positions? I think you're better off making him learn one, maybe two, and seeing if he can just kind of learn, get his feet wet, learn that right tackle position in the NFL, and backing up someone as good as Jermaine Illuminor and learning under him, I think is going to be great for his career. Marcus Bowe maybe is next year's right tackle if Illuminor either gets kicked inside or doesn't re-sign with us, because this is his last year under contract with us. And I've mentioned these guys already. Greg Dulcich, I think, is a solid player. I don't know if he makes the team, but he's a solid player. I wouldn't be mad if he made the team. Little Jordan Humphrey, Jalen Hyatt, Devin Singletary, Turbo Miller rounds out the second string. The third string, we have Jackson Dart, obviously. I think Juice Wells makes the team. I think that relationship he had with Jackson Dart in college is going to bode well for him. I'm going to take a flyer on him and say he makes the team. And these are bodies. James Hudson III and Stone Forsythe are not good tackles. I know we just signed them as depth. They're not good offensive tackles. They just aren't. But they're bodies. If either of them is ever on the field, then that is a game we're going to lose. But we need bodies. Jay Kubis, again, young guy, he showed a little bit of something last year with a couple of snaps, but I can't say I have expectations for him. Austin Schlottman, back, third string center, don't have expectations for him. Aaron Stinney, same. And these guys, Zach Pascal and Amir Smith Marset, are really here for special teams. I don't think Tommy DeVito makes the team. I think he makes the practice squad, and I think he probably gets poached. I think somebody else is going to grab him off the practice squad, especially after a few weeks when quarterbacks start to get injured. Unless, of course, we trade Jameis Winston, in which case then he's our third string quarterback, and I think he would, at least be on the practice squad, if not make the team as a third string quarterback. Bryce Ford Wheaton, I don't know if he makes the team this year. I mean, he offers a lot in special teams. He's a freakish athlete. You'd like to think he could make it at wide receiver. For some reason, he doesn't seem to have done that, taken that leap forward. So I don't know if he makes the team this year, but if he does, I'm pretty sure it's primarily at special teams. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking about the offense. Next episode, I'll talk about the defense, but I'd love to hear what you think. This is who I think the preseason is going to feature and take long looks at to see who makes the 53 and gets ready to play week 1. But, that's, again, this is just Clay from Bklyn's opinion. What do you think? Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. All right, so again, Clay from Bklyn, football with the fellas, all about Big Blue, and I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.